What is a timeline? This is written for cultures who read from left to right and top to bottom. This is written from the perspective of a predominantly right-handed culture. We represent your timeline like this, palms touching. Just like you're clapping, stretch your hands apart wide. This is how we represent a timeline. Your birth and your first memories are all the way on the left. Your future is all the way on the right. Your now is in the center. Remember, this is your timeline. This is when you're born, this is when you die. This is your now directly in the center, so it doesn't matter how old you are, I still do the same thing. I still do shoulder width because cameras. And this is your now, this is when you're born, this is when you die. Everything from here to here is forgiveness or purgation. Everything right here is gratitude, removal of expectations, which means the asking for something 10 times and the having communication and direction versus having an expectation. And then everything from here till you die, is something to do, which is purpose and direction. When you take your timeline from birth and you take those first 33 years, and even if we said that every year is a chapter, you could say that your life starts with chapter 1 and moved up to chapter 33, and then part 2 of the book started at chapter 34. So after chapter 33, you started part 2 of your life story. But everything here built up to that. And everything that happens here had all the character development. Parts of you. We can think of our lives as being made up of different categories or fractions, each of which represents a different aspect of our existence. These categories can include your work life, your love life, your fears, your anxieties, your hobbies, your interests, and so on. Each of these can have a profound impact on our overall well-being and sense of fulfillment. And we can analyze and examine each category on our timeline. Something that happened to you in your past that when a similar event happens, it brings up that past memory. Could be good, could be bad. When you see a stop sign and you know what that means, that's something that is locked somewhere in a timeline when it started and it got locked in. Seemingly random event, a stop sign. When someone used paying a tab to be controlling in your relationship, that's the same as a stop sign. Yet on future dates, if someone tries to pay for your tab, you might get offended or angry or anxious. You might not even know why. Each category of a person can be locked in a timeline. Things like voice maturity. People can have their voice locked to sort of a childish version because something traumatic happened and their voice never matured. Ability to read and write. The monster study, again, something that everyone should learn about. You can have your ability to read and write, your ability to speak without stuttering, affected by your past. It can be stuck back in your timeline. Your reactions to sights, sounds, smells, touch, taste, your reactions to various stimuli and emotions. Reality is constantly being shaped by our experiences and our perceptions. Our brains are constantly taking in information from the world around us and using it to create our personal reality. Negative and positive events in our timeline can be the same as other people's timelines. Different responses are coded into the brain for each person. Therapy like EMDR, hypnosis, these are often used to find these sticking points in our timelines and change them from an emotional event or a traumatic event to a thing that happened. I passed a stop sign. Different fractions of who you are stem from different events on your timeline. Those events can cause a fraction of you to be stuck. Provide examples. You know your examples. You provide the examples for yourself. We speak of your past in general and past events. Your past, a past event. Anything prior to the now is a past event. So this is your past. This is a past event. When we speak of your future timeline, we are concerned with starting a fire and preventing the fire from being extinguished. A lot of people with huge careers, public careers, die shortly after an event leads to the departure from their field or their retirement. The past and the future are never hard-coded, they're never written, they're never reality, because reality is just a piece of plastic. Reality can be moved around, folded, shaped, whatever you want. It is inked in your brain currently how your past went. But you can still change that, you can change the emotions attached to it, and you can change how it resulted in the future.